Hello and welcome to today's video. So you know that this video is my New Year's resolutions. Why am I sharing with you, you might ask? Well, because there are things in these lists that I haven't gotten done that have been on my want to do list for a really long time. And so I'm gonna put this out there, and maybe if I put it out there, it'll give me more incentive to get it done or to make ready, help me get some of them done. Today's a work day, but I do not need to wear scrubs or normal clothes because we have 0 patients coming in. It's a lot of prep and things like that. So I'm going to work comfy, which made me getting this video out even easier. I'm going to start with my YouTube goals. It isn't the top priority on my list because I don't make money off of YouTube. I am a new YouTuber, but YouTube is a way of me making memories, saving memories for me and my family, and I'm having fun doing it for myself. I like doing creative things, and this is my new outlet. My YouTube goal would be to stay dedicated. I am now going to create a schedule, and once I create a schedule and get some of the details that I'm going to talk about in this video, I'm going to make a video of what's coming for my YouTube channel. Like if you want to know what to expect from me for 2019, I'm going to make a separate video for that. Basically, I need to create a schedule of when I want to post because I will not be posting every day like I did for Vlogmas. And I also want to think of a topic or a couple of topics that I could use for filler content. We're not always doing anything. Lately we have been, and so there's a lot of things that I want to capture. But when there's not that kind of stuff going on, I want to think of something that I would like to film that I could share and not just boring stuff, or I have to get a video out, or I should keep things, uploading. I would like to think of something that I could say, oh, you know what? I don't have anything to post this week. This is a week that I could do this. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about is actually probably going to be part of that. Also, for my YouTube channel, this is an unrealistic goal in a sense that I have no control over it, and it's the hopes that it grows somewhat, and that I stay dedicated, and that I learn to edit. But with that, I hope comes like someone that I follow and have grown to love their channel, their family, their lifestyle, their tips, that one of these many people find out who I am and they like me. And it'd be kind of interesting to know that someone I would love to know in person would also like to know more about me. And I've seen these different YouTubers meet up and become friends, and I think it's just awesome to meet people that you would have never met before over such a big social media platform. So I hope that happens. Now, I have tons and tons of people who I follow that I think are amazing people. Do I think that they'll probably ever watch my channel? Probably not, but who knows? People like Erin Williams, I actually think I started following people on YouTube after finding her channel through a different form of, I guess you would call it, it's not social media, but reality-based stuff. I found her and love her channel. Her husband is funny, her girls are beautiful, and she's got a new baby on the way, and I'm like, I wonder what she's having. And I don't even know this person in person, and I just think that that's awesome. I like the Beauty and the Beastins, Tiffany. I follow her, and all of these people I follow on like Instagram, and very few people I follow on Facebook. Facebook I kind of keep like personal like people things, but on my Instagram I follow the other, family and things like that. Brianna Kay, I love her. She is so inspirational. She's a motivator in so many different ways, and I think I connect with her because she's going through some stuff with her family, with her daddy, and I dread that day of having to go through something like that with my parents, being sick or something like that. And so I follow her. I follow the Ciccone Jolie's and Anna Ciccone, like both of her channels, because they're just so interesting, and their accents are so different, and their kids' accents are so cute, and they're 4 little kids. It's just so adorable. I follow all the channels for This Gathered Nest, from This Gathered Nest to Angela's own channel, The Sister Show, and her sister's channel, Joyful Chaos. I follow all 4 of those. I love that family. I think they've adopted from different countries. They have children of their own. They've done embryo adoption. To me, that is also interesting. And I follow big families like the people who just had quintuplets, 5 to Love. I follow the new channel, the Chatwins. I love their editing. So just things like that. I follow a lot of those people. So I'm hoping that one of these people, like, look at this girl, she's funny, or she's witty, or she's interesting, or I've never met anybody from Louisiana. I don't know. I really don't know what I expect. But that's part of the unrealistic goal, because I have no control if anybody likes me or not. And I guess I truly don't care. I mean, they could hate me for all I care, but, you know, I still like them. They'll still watch their channels. Randy and I goals. I really don't have like a major goal set for me and Randy, because I think our relationship is goals. We have an amazing relationship. I don't feel strange saying that. I don't feel overconfident saying that. I am very, very, very happy, and I'm so lucky to have him in my life. And I think that he feels the exact same way about me. He might verbally say it differently. It's probably usually in a goofy way, but he has got an extreme sensitive side, an extreme sweet side. He is the best at doing the small things. So I don't have major goals for us, but our new date night video, which was probably will go out, I think, before this, either that or it'll go out after this. So you'll know if you've seen it or not, is to keep up that tradition. That is my goal, to keep up that tradition. We've only done it twice, and we already have reservations and a hotel booked for date night number 3, February 2nd. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically whatever month it falls on, so the numerical month of February is 2, so we're going on February 2nd, and March would be on the 3rd, so on and so forth. And I've got date night number 1 already up, and I may or may not have date night number 2, which was January 1st, yesterday, up. I'm not sure if I'm posting this before then or not, because it's New Year's resolutions. I really wanted to have it up on the 1st. But the first time I wanted to make the video, Randy wanted to go off and go do something, and I would have rather spend time with him than to make a video. And those kind of things will always come first to me. So that is my only goal, I think, for me and him. Now, I'm actually looking at this, and I realized what this little thing says, pics. I want to do a bride and groom picture session with him. We didn't want to do it around the holidays because we didn't want to have to worry about what places had holiday stuff out to pick and choose where we were going to go, but we want to do that. I wanted to do it before our wedding, and I chose not to, and I kicked myself. But now, looking back, I'm glad I didn't, because it was such a busy time during planning time. I would have been stressed no matter what, and it'll give us some really amazing pictures. I know that it would. So my only other thing was to say, to continue being as happy as we are, and to work on keeping our relationship as strong as it is. And I have no doubt that that will happen. So it's not really a goal, it's just expectations. Let's go into myself. Well, I want to focus a little bit more time on myself, to give a little bit more time to just me, to do things for me and not just for everybody else. Cleaning the house is mentally for me, but it's for everybody else. And going to work and making money technically isn't for me. All my money goes straight to my kids. I want to do things for myself. So YouTube is part of that, because it is something that is making me happy. It's something that I know that there are things in it that I will cherish. So that's part of it, but I also need to focus on my health. I promised my mom months, years ago that I would go get my eyes checked. My mom was diagnosed with optical melanoma, and that's not something that I've talked about, and it may or may not be anything that I talk about much, because it is a hard topic, and it's also not just about me. But it is a reason why I need to focus on this year. I have promised my mom that I would do this, and I never did. And I don't like breaking promises. to me, breaking a promise is lying, and I hate lies. So she was diagnosed with that. It's a rare cancer, and it can spread, and it's also likely to spread, and that's a very bad thing. It's also kind of, I guess, one of the background reasons to me doing YouTube is to capture memories while I can and hope that I never have to worry about not being able to capture them. And also, with that being said, I haven't ever done this. I should have. I should do it for more than one reason. I should do it for myself, and I should do it to where it probably would make my mom really happy for me to go and get my eyes checked. And she's doing great, so if anybody's watching us who don't know us personally and is wondering how my mom's doing, she is doing great. She gets checked numerous times a year, both in her eye and her entire body, and she never has anything wrong with her. And I hope it continues to do that way because I love my mom. She is an amazing person, mom, grandma, woman. She is the strongest person I know. And so with that being said, I'm going to get my eyes checked this year. No doubt about it. Also blood work. I have had blood work done, even on the more recent, but I had a really bad infection in my face, like in my bone, upper jaw area this past year, and for months and months, like a very long period of time. We started thinking that it was a cavity. Dentist couldn't find cavities. Needless to say, after a while, I had went to another dentist and he did like a whole scan of my whole face because I was diagnosed with TMJ, I was having headaches, and I was having lots of pain. Sometimes it would be none and I'd be perfectly fine for weeks, and then it would come back and it was excruciating. We found an infection and they put me on a strong antibiotic, which was not working. It would go away slightly, but it would just come back, and they kept doing stronger and stronger antibiotics, which tore up my internal system. It made me sick that way. And needless to say, it spread to one of my teeth. They pulled a tooth, they took out bone. I did bone grafts and stuff in my mouth. It was an extremely long process to reconstruct both my jaw and my tooth. And even though I don't think that it was life-threatening, it did scare me a lot. I had nightmares of like my face rotting off. But during that time, I was so scared of why my body wasn't fighting this infection, and I did get blood work done. And they told me I was low in vitamin D. And it really didn't sink in until months later that I'm like, that could have been part of it. Vitamin D helps your bones. And did I think about it really back then? I really didn't. I was more going to see if like my blood counts were off or that there was something else going on that we just didn't know about, and there wasn't. But I never did handle that low vitamin D. I did take what they gave me then, but I never went back for the follow-up blood work. I actually had been so busy. I was going to the dentist so often on any of my off days that it took up a lot of my time. That and planning my wedding took up all of my time all the way until October. And I had had the problem for over a year. It started over a year before that. It started in May the year before that. And I didn't find the issue until October, and it took until the other October, a year later, to be completely finished with the process. Like, I almost didn't think that I was going to be able to smile too big in my wedding pictures, because when I smile, it's like right here, and that they had to pull the tooth. Now, the infection was gone for an extended period of time before that. It was just a reconstruction of like, to make my smile 100%. So I'm going to do that. And the only other thing on my list, which Rennie would hate if he heard, is I want another cat. I probably shouldn't say that because I have two, but my love is black and white cats. And that's the reason why the first cat I got, she got a disease and I had to put her down. And her name was Nyla, and she was beautiful. And not that I want to replace her, but because you can't replace an animal or a person. That's just my feelings. But I do think that it would be nice to have a fluffy black and white cat around. I would love to have just one more cat. And I love my cats. Even though when they get outside and I can't find them, they make me a crazy person, and I use my video cameras with sound effects to wake me up if they come by the front door. And I call their name a million times for my neighbors all to hate me, but we have a lot of old neighbors, so they probably can't hear me. I don't know. Let's hope, because when they get outside on a regular basis, I'm out there. Sadie, Riley. Well, not Sadie. Sadie is like a dog. She goes out, she scratches to come back in. Very seldom she just disappears for a day. And when she disappears for like a whole day, I'm like, okay, where she's at. And I know she's fine in my head. Riley, she's not meant to be outside. And the first time she got outside was when I was on my honeymoon, the day after I left. And when I got home, I was told, and my mom said, I kept going outside and saying, Zoe, Zoe. I'm like, Mom, who the heck is Zoe? I don't have a Zoe, never did. Now, I did call Riley Zell, and if you ever hear my kids calling my gray cat Zelda, I don't have 2 gray cats, I have 1. The girl Erin Williams that I follow, she's got a dog named Zell, and I always just thought it was just a pretty name for a pet. And I was like, so when I got my kitten, I named her Zell. And after having her for a day, I was like, she's not a Zell. And I called her Riley, which is my grandma's maiden name, and I also spelled it differently than my grandma's maiden name. Randy's name is R-A-N-D-I, and so I spelled it R-I, and then his middle name is Lee, so it's Riley. And I'm sentimental in a lot of ways, even the spelling of and names of my cats. Apparently, I know, I'm strange. I have a cat that plays fetch and scratches to go out and come back in, so I basically have a dog. And I got another cat that I named after my grandma's maiden name and spelled it with Randy's name, and I'm a little weird. But if you know me, you knew that already. And if you don't know me, welcome to the party. Family goals. My family goals is to get some vacations in the works. I know that we're probably going to Tennessee sometime around June. And if you've ever been to Tennessee and you have any recommendations about places to stay, places to go, places to eat, let me know. We might end up there also during my birthday, and it's my 40th birthday. And I'll be honest, it isn't my choice of where I would want to go on my birthday. I think I'll enjoy it. I think it'll be beautiful. I think I'll love videotaping a lot of the things that we'd probably end up doing there, and the creative outlet, something completely different I've done in a long time, the nature of it. But if I had to pick where I was going to be at on my birthday, it probably would be on the beach. But we do that every year, and we'll probably be doing it this year too. I hope to go on another cruise. I always like going on cruises with kids. It's almost like an all-inclusive with the kids, downgraded. But I also would like to start planning either for this summer or sometime next year in some way, shape, or form, a all-inclusive trip with me and all of the kids, even my 21-year-old too. I don't think he would fight me on going on that vacation because I think he would really like it too. So, vacations. Also, I want to start doing either weekly or every other week to make sure that no matter what, that we play games with the kids. We do something with the kids. And we always are doing stuff with them, but I'm finding we haven't been doing as many board games, and I enjoy doing that with the kids. In fact, during Christmas, I gave one of my kids a board game or a little thing that was for 8 up, and my kids are 11 and up. But I thought, in the evenings when we have very short windows of time where they want to go to bed and they want to hang out with us, that it'd be a little easier of a game to play, and it would be more about us and not about the challenge of it or the length of it. It'd be a little something to do. So I want to start doing that again, and I also want to start doing puzzles. And they probably might not like it, but I think that they would get into it. And it's that if we only have a couple minutes, that at different times, I could see Randy over there like fooling with it with one of the boys, or me and Ethan, or me and Gavin, or me and Nicholas. Like, I even think Nicholas would come do it from time to time. And it would be just really fun to do. And they're inexpensive. And you can buy the little roll where you could roll them up and you could pick them up. And it's something that we can start one day and we can finish whenever. So I want to start doing that. And I also want to do some family pictures. If we don't end up on a cruise and do some there, I want to go set up my camera, just do it myself. I'm usually really good at getting some creative pictures. So like getting some coordinated outfits and doing that. So that's family goals. Let's see. I also have on the list that I want to make sure that I'm cooking more with the kids. My kids, I want to grow up to be men who can cook and clean and love big and be honest men. And I think a man is a person who could do all those things. I do not think that they need to try and learn how to cook macaroni and cheese out of a box when they're 30 years old for their kids. I want my kids to be able to do meals in some way, shape, or form, to learn basics now and learn more later. And they're all interested in it. Nicholas cooks all sorts of different things. He's very creative with cooking. We've been on vacations and come back, and he's got like all sorts of things in the refrigerator that he's tried making, from dumplings to Mexican food. Ethan already cooks his own breakfast every morning, so it's really fun for me to do that and see them actually be able to do it. Plus, one day they can cook for me. Last but not least, I think I'm going to talk about house goals, home goals, and I'm only going to talk a couple or more minutes. I don't want this video much longer than what it already is, but I want to do some home improvements. This is the list of things that I've been wanting to do and haven't done. I have 2 antique pieces of furniture in our back garage from Randy's grandma. When she passed, we all of his family and us went into her house, and we took what we could salvage from her house, and everybody got different things. And this is a piece that these are pieces that nobody else wanted, and I was like, I would love them, and I want to turn those into a vanity and get a piece of marble cut for the top. It would hold so much more stuff, and they're just so pretty to me, and they mean something. They're linked to Randy and his family, and they deserved to be seen. And I want to do this more than I can explain. I have said that I was going to do this for years, and it's sad that for years they are sitting out there in a garage. Nobody sees them. Nobody uses them. I'm going to do that this year. This weekend, if it's not raining, I am working on those things. Randy's going to get the stuff cut for it. I don't know how long that takes, but I'm going to have a beautiful marble top antique vanity in this room, as long as it's still in good shape. I think that they are. I even have this little stool that I can make into like a bench for me that isn't part of the set, I don't think, because some of it looks like it goes exactly with it and other parts do not at all. But once I put some tufted cushions on there, it'll be so pretty. I found a mirror that will work for now until I find the perfect mirror that I could paint to match whatever color I choose. I think I'm going to choose white, even though I keep saying I want to do gray. I just think that white will last longer, and I think that all these gray things that I want, eventually I'm gonna be like, I need to paint everything. I don't want anything gray, and everything's gray. So I want to do that, and I want to change up some things in the house. Paint colors, different lights in the house. Just make things just a little bit more up-to-date, modern, and stylish in my sense. And so I'm determined to do some things in his house. Randy might not let me do a lot because he doesn't care at all what anything looks like. And the house is fine. There's nothing like majorly wrong with the house. But I need to get more creative and figure out the places in the house that aren't used, because what do you put there type of a thing. I need to take that space and think, how can I add storage that also looks aesthetically pleasing in this space? Because that's the one thing we need. We need storage. I need extra space in the kitchen, and the only other place is in our closet, which I'll have to show one day, because I have filled that thing to its max in the best way possible. I don't think there's anything else that I could do in that closet to maximize that space. But with that being said, every time I go in there, I can't find things. I can't hang clothes in there. There's not enough room. Everything needs to be folded on shelves. Long story short, I need to find ways to store things. And so the kitchen is going to be the easiest, because there's areas around the living room and kitchen that have nothing in them that I could maybe find a piece of furniture that becomes useful for me or something, And I'm gonna work on that this year, the house. So I hope any of my goals helps maybe open up some ideas for yourself to make you strive for better for yourself, a better you, a better family, a better space. And if you're on YouTube, a better YouTube channel. And I will be putting some time and effort into that as well. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps my channel. So if you're just watching because you're family, if you're watching because you've wanted to see what I have to say, if you hit that subscribe button, it helps my channel. If you've never watched again, it still will help my channel. If you like my videos, it helps my channel. The more you watch, the more it helps my channel. So maybe check back on some of the other videos. I've got other videos that are much more like goofy, like us putting up the Christmas tree and things like that. In any of my videos that go out is either going to be me being peppy or us being goofy. I won't show a lot of anything that's negative in my life because those aren't going to be the things that I want to remember. But there most probably will be times where I'll sit and want to talk about something that's going on in life that's hard. And I kind of touched base on some of the things that are really, in a way, I didn't intend to talk about those things in this video, but they are a part of my life and they are a part of why I'm doing this. So I don't think my mom would care about me talking about that. Anybody who knows us knows that she has gone through that, and everybody who knows me knows that I love my mom, and they must probably get the gist that part of my YouTube reason for YouTube is because I know that I have my mom happy and healthy right now, and I know that that might not always be the case. So I'm gonna capture anything I can with me and my mom and my kids while I can. And there's a couple of other reasons that I haven't talked about. And some of those reasons, I don't even know if I ever will. But in the simplest form, I'm a mom with kids and I want to capture memories. That's top on the list. And then the other reasons are just things that have pushed me to be like, I need to do this. I should have did this before. So that's that. Again, bye again. Thank you for watching again. Please like and subscribe. I'm not editing this video or whatsoever, so it's going to be 28 minutes long, the longest video I've ever put out. Love you. Love yourself. And make some New Year's resolutions. Call them whatever you want. Goals, to-do list, do it. Write them down somewhere where you can see them, and at the end of the year, see what you accomplished. Love you guys.